who come along late. I think that would be absolutely fine. Get more people. So in order to establish the tone of the quiz, I have prepared a theme tune. So what I'm going to do is to hopefully share the screen and share my sound. Let's have a look. So can you see my delightful desktop? And then we're going to watch this. Blakety Blake, 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 Blakety Blake. Okay. Let me come out of screen share for a moment. Inordinately proud of that 19 seconds of nonsense, but there we go. So the first two rounds are just going to be me asking questions, fairly straightforward quizzing. And the first round is entitled, Oh, What is Life and What is Man? And is all about the life of William Blake. So if everybody's ready, we will have the first question. Question number 1 is, where was Blake baptized? Read that one more time. Question 1, where was Blake baptized? Okay. Question 2, tell me if I'm going too fast as we go, otherwise I'll just move on. Question 2, what was Catherine Blake's maiden name? What was Catherine Blake's maiden name? Okay. Question 3. Where were William and Catherine married? Question 3 again. Where were William and Catherine married? Question 4. How many siblings did Blake have? Question 4. How many siblings did Blake have? Excuse me, we did a run through of this the other day and Tim told me this should be a glass of Porto really, to be truly Blakean, but it's Pinot Noir instead. So question 5 is about Blake residences. So I'm going to read out 5 Blake residences and I want you to put them in chronological order. So the order in which Blake lived in them. So we have Fountain Court, 28 Broad Street, Felpham, South Molton Street, and Hercules Buildings in Lambeth. I'll read those out again. So we've got Fountain Court, 28 Broad Street, Felpham, South Molton Street, and Hercules Buildings, Lambeth. I agree with Noel that Ellis and Yates almost certainly had Blake quizzes. Yes. Question 6. What was the name of the publisher who frequently commissioned engravings from Blake and who hosted weekly dinners for radical authors, including Mary Wollstonecraft and Thomas Paine? Question 6 again. What was the name of the publisher who frequently commissioned engravings from Blake and who hosted weekly dinners for radical authors, including Mary Wollstonecraft and Thomas Paine? Question 7. Who apparently taught William the techniques of illuminated printing in a dream? Question 7 one more time. Who apparently taught William the techniques of illuminated printing in a dream? Question 8. In which city did Blake's trial for sedition take place? In which city did Blake's trial for sedition take place? And question 9, very much related to that last question. What was the name of the soldier who Blake ejected from his garden in Felpham? What was the name of the soldier who Blake ejected from his garden in Felpham? And the final question for round 1 is question 10. Who commissioned Blake's illustrations for the Book of Job and the Divine Comedy? Question 10, one more time, was who commissioned Blake's illustrations for the Book of Job and the Divine Comedy? And that is round 1. Would anybody like me to repeat a question or clarify anything? Okay. I'm going to let you just mull over those answers for a little while. Remiss of me to point out that one of the prizes is going to be potentially this beautiful tie, which our treasurer Peter has created, which I am very proudly wearing. An exclusive bit of merch from the Blake Society.
These will be available very shortly. John will be taking orders when the ice cream's usherette comes round.
This concludes our commercial break. So if everybody's ready, we can move on to round 2. Everyone happy? So round 2 is entitled Minute Particulars and is all about Blake's work. And some of these are multiple choice, some of them not. Here we go. So question 11 is, how many times is Orc mentioned in Jerusalem, the emanation of the giant Albion? And this is multiple choice. So the options are A, once, B, 7 times, or C, 15 times. I'll read that one again. Question 11, how many times is Orc mentioned in Jerusalem, the emanation of the giant Albion? A, once, B, 7, or C, 15 times? Okay, question 12. What is the name of the emanation of Urizen? A, Enitharmon, B, Thel, or C, Ahania? What is the name of the emanation of Urizen? A, Enitharmon, B, Thel, C, Ahania? Really hope I've got all these answers right. We shall see. Question 13. How many verses does the tiger have? A, 5, B, 6, or C, 7 verses? How many verses does the tiger have? A, 5, B, 6, or C, 7? We're trusting that you're not just going to reach to your copy of Blake and look it up. But if you did, how would we ever know? Question 14. How many pictures did Blake include in his ill-fated 1809 exhibition? A, 16, B, 18, or C, 20? So question 14 is, how many pictures did Blake include in his 1809 exhibition? A, 16, B, 18, or C, 20? Question 15. The 4 chapters of Jerusalem, the emanation of the giant Albion, are dedicated to 4 groups of people. Not a multiple choice, this one, I'm afraid. Who are those people? Who are the 4 groups? I'll read that one again. The 4 chapters of Jerusalem, the emanation of the giant Albion, are dedicated to 4 groups of people. Who are they? Question 16. The lyrics for the hymn Jerusalem come from the preface to which Blake poem? Question 16. The lyrics for the hymn Jerusalem come from the preface to which Blake poem? A little bit like a newsreader. Question 17. Which of these countries is not mentioned in Blake's writings? India, Japan, Poland, Australia, Denmark. Which of these countries is not mentioned in Blake's writings? India, Japan, Poland, Australia, Denmark. If you didn't like that question, you're not going to like the next three questions. Question 18. Which of these parts of London is not mentioned in Blake's writings? Camberwell, Peckham, Kentish Town, Oxford Street, Holloway. Which of these parts of London is not mentioned in Blake's writings? Camberwell, Peckham, Kentish Town, Oxford Street, or Holloway? Continuing this theme, question 19. Which of these British locations is not mentioned in Blake's writings? Anglesey, Bath, Glasgow, Manchester, Sheffield. Which of these British locations is not mentioned in Blake's writings? Anglesey, Bath, Glasgow, Manchester, or Sheffield? And the final question of round 2, question 20, is, I'm afraid, along the same lines. Which of these mountains is not mentioned in Blake's writings? And the candidates are Mam Tor, Sinai, Ben Nevis, Snowdon, and Olivet. Which of these mountains is not mentioned in Blake's writings? Mam Tor, Sinai, Ben Nevis, Snowdon, Olivet. I'm pleased to see Tim looking at least a little puzzled. This is good.
John, could you repeat, in the chat it says, could you repeat questions 1 and 2, please?
Oh, yeah. As it's George, yes, of course. So questions 1 and 2 from round 1. Question 1 was, where was Blake baptized? And question 2, what was Catherine Blake's maiden name? Anybody else like any? Oh, sorry, from round 2, he says. So questions 1 and 2 would be, I think, question 11, it's the first question of round 2, would be, how many times is Orc mentioned in Jerusalem, the emanation of the giant Albion? A, once, B, 7, or C, 15, 15 times? I'm not sure whether I've read one or not. I'm not sure whether George wants round 1 or round 2, so I'm going to read the next one anyway, just in case. So question 12, which was the second question of round 2, was, what is the name of the emanation of Urizen? A, Enitharmon, B, Thel, or C, Ahania? Peter is suggesting there was a Blake. What nonsense! He's being mischievous. Right, that's the end of the first 2 rounds. Does anybody want any other questions clarified or repeated before we move on?
I was called away for numbers 14 through 16, if that's not too much of trouble. 14
to 18?
14 through 16.
Okay, no problem.
Round 2, yeah.
Okay. So question 14 was, how many pictures did Blake include in his 1809 exhibition? And the options are A, 16, B, 18, or C, 20.
Okay.
And then question 15, The 4 chapters of Jerusalem, the emanation of the giant Albion, are dedicated to 4 groups of people. Who are they? And question 16 is the lyrics for the hymn Jerusalem come from the preface to which Blake poem?
Thank you very much.
No props. Anybody else need any repeats or clarifications? Okay. So if everybody's got their answers jotted down, we will go through the answers and then you can all score yourselves. So I think we'll do each question and then people can just shout out the answers and we'll see how we go. So question 1, where was Blake baptized? Anybody?
St. James Piccadilly.
I was about to say incorrect. What I meant to say was correct. Yes. Okay, question 2. What was Catherine Blake's maiden name?
Boucher.
Indeed.
Or Butcher.
Written Butcher sometimes. So that's also, Boucher or Butcher. Question 3. Where were William and Catherine married? Anybody?
Is it Battersea?
It is in Battersea, yes. Yeah. It's actually St. Mary's Battersea.
St.
Mary's.
But I think if you've said Battersea, that's okay as well. You can have a point for that. Peter doesn't look happy with that.
Why? I'm not happy. I'm just wondering why you're being so tough.
Why tough? Okay, now this is one. I hope I got this right. Question 4. How many siblings did Blake have? Anybody?
2.
More. Higher.
4.
I think I'm right in saying he had 5.
5.
But I think also, if anyone wrote 7, you could have that because I think there were 2 who didn't make it out of early infancy. But I think I'm right in saying they were called James, John, Richard, Catherine, and Robert.
Okay.
I may have that right. I'm not sure. Okay, so the Blake residences in chronological order, please. Anybody want to tell us this?
So, Broad Street, Lambeth, Felpham, South Molton, and Fountain Court.
Correct. Excellent work. Question 6. What was the name of the publisher who frequently commissioned engravings from Blake and who hosted weekly dinners for radical authors, including Mary Wollstonecraft and Thomas Paine? Anyone?
Was that Joseph Johnson?
It was indeed.
Joseph Johnson, yeah.
Joseph Johnson. Okay. Question 7. Who apparently taught William the techniques of illuminated printing in a dream?
Robert Blake.
Indeed. Poor old Robert Blake. Or maybe not. Apparently happy in the next room. Question 8. In which city did Blake's trial for sedition take place?
Chichester.
Chichester, correct. And what was the name of the soldier who Blake ejected from his garden in Felpham?
Schofield.
Yes, John Schofield. Although again, I think there are variants in spelling, probably even by William. So Schofield, Schofelt, something like that. You can have a point. And final question of round 1. Who commissioned Blake's illustrations for the Book of Job and the Divine Comedy?
Was it John Linnell?
It was, yes. From a bad John to a good John. Okay. So we'll go straight on into the answers for round 2, and then I'll get you to add up your scores and send them to Sibylla at that point.
I'm sorry, John, could you just clarify? What was the answer to question 4? How many siblings did William have?
The answer was 5,
okay.
Unless you put 7, in which case you can have that as well. So round 2, question 11. How many times is Orc mentioned in Jerusalem, the emanation of the giant Albion? Anyone got an answer?
It's A.
It is A, yes, only once. Yeah, pretty much done away with Orc. That is correct, yes. Yeah, I was surprised. Yep. Question 12. What is the name of the emanation of Urizen? Anybody?
Ahania?
That's correct. C. Ahania. Question 13. How many verses does the tiger have?
5,
6.
6. Yeah.
Six.
B. 6.
6, oh, 6.
Yeah, that was a bit mean because, you know, he won either way. Question 14. How many pictures did Blake include in his ill-fated 1809 exhibition? 16, 18, or 20?
18.
I'm just checking. 16. I'm afraid
60.
it's the A16.
That was A. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Not all of which are still with us, of course. Question 15. The 4 chapters of Jerusalem, the emanation of the giant Albion, are dedicated to 4 groups of people. Who are they?
The deists, the Christians, the Jews, and the public. Not in that order,
Not
I'm
in that
afraid.
order.
Yes, not in that order, but that is correct. Yes, yeah. And I've in a moment of generosity, I've written on the answers here. If you get 3 out of the 4, you can have the point.
Oh.
Thinking that. Okay, question 16. The lyrics for the hymn Jerusalem come from the preface to which Blake poem? Everybody?
Milton.
Milton.
Yes, sir.
Correct. Okay, and then on to these annoying location questions. Question 17. Which of these countries is not mentioned in Blake's writings? India, Japan, Poland, Australia, or Denmark? Anybody?
Is that Australia?
It is Australia.
Oh, okay.
Right. Question 18. Which of these parts of London is not mentioned? Camberwell, Peckham, Kentish Town, Oxford Street, Holloway. Anybody feeling brave?
That's Kentish Town, isn't it?
It's not.
Oh, it's
Holloway.
not.
Anyone else want to have a
Holloway.
guess?
Street.
Holloway.
Holloway then.
No. If
No.
I've got this
Oxford
right,
Street.
if I've got this right, the answer is actually Peckham.
Oh.
It's
Oh,
my attempt at a trick question. As far as I can tell, it doesn't actually mention Peckham. Obviously, the story about the angels is famously Peckham Rye, but Blake doesn't use the place in his own writings.
Do we believe him, everybody? Are we all now going to go away and check that?
Of course, you can go on the Erdman online, can't you, and stick it in the search thing, which I have done a few times. So hopefully,
look up Blake records and see.
Yeah. Question 19. Which of these British locations is not mentioned in Blake's writings? Anglesey, Bath, Glasgow, Manchester, or Sheffield?
Sheffield?
It is Sheffield, correct.
Yeah.
And the last of these horrible questions. Question 20. Which of these mountains is not mentioned in Blake's writings? Mam Tor, Sinai, Ben Nevis, Snowdon, or Olivet?
The Olivet?
No, I'm afraid not.
No.
Mentor.
No,
Mamtor is.
Ben Nevis.
Checking his notes. Yes, Ben Nevis. Correct.
Ben Nevis. Yeah. That was.
There we go. Does anyone need anything clarified, or is that all fairly clear? So if you can add up your scores for rounds 1 and 2, so it should be out of 20, and then put your scores in the chat, then Sibylla, our wonderful scorer and assistant, will add up those scores, and we'll go through them in a little bit after the next round, I think. I'll just give you a few moments to do that. And we will move on to our first multimedia extravaganza round.
Sorry, I need to take my leave to teach a class. This has been great fun, and I hope we do it again someday.
Jennifer, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen with you all again, and we'll get on to the next round. Where are we? There's nothing incriminating on here, don't worry. Nothing too incriminating. Okay, here we go. So the next round, as you can hopefully see, can everybody see that? Is entitled Name the Visionary Head. So a little intro. Between 1818 and 1820, Blake drew many visionary heads in the presence of painter and astrologer John Varley. In the small hours of the morning, they would summon various figures from history, and Blake would draw portraits of the spirits who appeared before him. We present for you here 10 visionary heads and ask you to tell us who's who from the multiple choices. But be warned, one of them is a fake visionary head, not drawn by William Blake, but drawn by yours truly. Okay. So what we have here on the first page are the 10, making sure there are 10, yes, the 10 options. These are the spirits who William has drawn, but these are not the order they're going to appear to you in a moment. So you'll get to see these names again in a moment, but if you just have a bit of a look at those, in fact, we'll go through them. So A is Socrates, B, King John, C, Queen Eleanor, D, the spirit of Voltaire, E, Harold killed at the Battle of Hastings. There may be a clue in that description. F, Wat Tyler, G, Wat Tyler's daughter, H, the man who built the pyramids, I, Owen Glendower, and J, the fake. So, as I say, you'll see those again once we've gone through the pictures with thumbnails of the pictures as well. But let's take a look at the visionary heads. So here we go. Here's the first, oh, he says, here's the first visionary head, 21. Oops. So we'll have a bit of a look at that one. And then we'll move on to 22.
That's not the daughter, is it, John?
I'm not giving any clues, Peter. Follow your instincts. 23. Oh, excuse me. There we go. I hope you can all see these all right. Shout if these are not as clear as they could be. 24. Moving on to 25. And 26. On to 27. $28. 29. And the final visionary head for this evening is this apparition, number 30. Okay, so on the next page, we've got a thumbnail of each one and the options again. Hopefully you can see all of those and remind yourselves. So I'll just leave that there for a few minutes. But if people want to have a look at one or more of the visionary heads in close-up again, let me know and I can scroll back up. I shall pour myself some more wine. Some very studious faces. This is impressive. Okay, how's everyone getting on? Would anybody like a closer look at one or more of the visionary heads? I don't seem to be able to see the chat when screen sharing, so apologies if anyone's typing anything, but just shout if you want to have another look at anyone. What we might do, if it's possible, Sibylla, is perhaps while people are making their final considerations of the visionary heads, we might go through the scores, if that's all right.
Absolutely. See if I got it right. So Noel's got 16. Is that correct? Okay, I'm not hearing anything, so I think that's okay. Jennifer,
yes, it is.
thank you. Jennifer, who's left, is 11. Peter's got 16. Debbie, I have 5. George, I have 8. Anise, 14. Robin, 10. Camilla, 14. Gareth, 13. Tim, 14.
Mm-hmm. Impressive scores, everything to play for still.
Mm-hmm.
Right, is everyone happy to do the answers for the visionary heads?
I am.
Do that. Yeah.
Yep.
If so,
Yep, go ahead.
let's do it. Okay, so let's go through them, through the big versions and have a look. So, he says, finding his answers. 21. Anybody want to shout out?
Pyramid
Man
Man.
that built the
Pyramids,
pyramid.
yes.
Pyramid Man, I like that. Sounds like a superhero. That's great. Yes, indeed.
Amenhotep.
Bless you. 22. This is a hard one.
Harold.
Harold.
That's Harold. Poor old Harold.
It's what Tyler's daughter, I'm sure.
It's not quite in his eye looking at it, is it? It's gone right in his head, which is, I don't know if that's worse or not.
All right.
23. Who is this?
Eleanor.
Queen Eleanor.
That's correct.
Oh, okay.
And 24.
Spirit of Voltaire.
I'm afraid not.
No.
Not that
No.
one.
Is that what, Tyler?
That is what Tyler, yes.
Oh, it is. Oh, okay.
Very angry, about to lead the peasants' revolt. And 25.
Socrates.
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 Indeed. As Bill and Ted, I believe. Call him. Of course. Socrates with his beard. 26.
Is that Owen Glendower?
That is indeed Owen Glendower. Okay, and on to on to number 27.
Terry.
Yay! Indeed. That is my visionary head.
The man who built broadcasting.
Indeed. the late, great Terry Wogan. And I believe I'm right in saying the original host of Blankety Blank.
Yeah.
Definitely hosted
Oh,
it.
wasn't he? Oh, okay.
One iteration. Yeah.
Nobody wants to know the answer to that.
I would say if Blake was drawing these today, Terry, he would get Terry. Come on. Easily. 28.
What's daughter?
Indeed. What Tyler's daughter?
Harold.
Harold.
29. Try again.
That's what his daughter's name was, Harold.
Bring on a bit Monty Python.
Yeah. King John.
Indeed. Which leaves number 30.
Voltaire.
Okay.
Indeed. The spirit of Voltaire. Very good. Right. So if you make a note of your scores, I think I'm not going to ask you to send your score until the end of the following round, and we'll do another 2 rounds together. So I'm going to come out of this. Now, what I should have asked earlier, when I played my ludicrous theme tune, was the volume all right for everyone? You could hear it without it being deafening.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's fine.
Because the next round is the music round. So if I can remember what I'm doing, I'm going to find my iTunes. Other music players are available. And here we go. So this round is called Songs in the Key of Blake. Here's a little intro. Blake's words have been used by many musicians and composers. In this round, we have 5 20th century musical adaptations of Blake's verse. And all we want you to do is to identify the musician, band, or composer in each case. So,
What century are they, John?
they're all 20th century.
Oh, God, I'm off.
I'm pretty sure you were alive in the 20th century, Peter. Come on.
I was, but I won't know any of them. If they're
Well,
post-Beatles, anyway.
There's a mixture of musical styles, as you will discover. So, I'll give you a clue might be over-egging it, but a little description. So question 31 is the first question in round 4.
Sorry, can I just check? So we've got to come up with the name and the composer.
No, I'll read each question for each one and tell you what I'm looking for.
Right,
So
okay,
don't worry, it'll become a little bit clearer than that. So 31 the question is, which 90s Britpop band stole the lyrics for this song from Blake's A Poison Tree? And I think what I'll do is just play it twice, first of all, and you can see what you think. So just to read the question again, which 90s Britpop band nicked the lyrics for this song from Blake's A Poison Tree? Here we go.
I was angry with my friend, I shot my rock there. I was angry with my foe, I told him no more rustic road. And I watered it in fears, righteous morning with my tears. And I sunned it with my smiles, then we stopped to see both worlds. And sometimes
Right, let's have that one more time. Here we go. Sorry, that's the next question. Ignore that one. Here we go. So this is still 31.
I was angry with my friend, I shot my rock there. I was angry with my foe, I told him no more rustic road. And I watered it in fears, righteous morning with my tears. And I sunned it with my smiles, then we stopped to see both worlds. And sometimes
Okay. So on to the next question. Question 32. Who is the composer of this adaptation of London? One more time. Who is the composer of this adaptation of London? Here we go.
I wander through each chartered street, near where the chartered Thames does flow, and mark in every face I meet marks of weakness, marks of
Stop. Sorry. One more time for that one. The question 32.
I wander through each chartered street, near where the chartered Thames does flow, and mark in every face I meet marks of weakness, marks of
Okay. So question 33. Accidentally gave you a little burst of this racket early. The question is, which Manchester band performed this 1980s take on Jerusalem? 33. Which Manchester band performed this 1980s take on Jerusalem?
bring me gold, burning gold. Bring arrows of desire. Bring me spear. Oh, clouds unfold, and though I rest from mental fights,
Sorry, I really need to get better at this, don't I? Should we have that one more time? People want a bit of that? Peter's shaking his head, but I think that may just be a critical judgment. I'm going to play it anyway.
Oh, no.
Bring me bow, burning gold. Bring arrows of desire. Bring me spear of clouds unfold. And though I rest from mental fights, and no sword sleeps in her hand, I will not rest till Jerusalem is built in England, a green and pleasant land.
Right. On to question 34. It's a classical adaptation again. Who composed this adaptation of Our Sunflower?
Ah, sunflower, weary of time, who countest the steps of the sun, seeking after that sweet golden clime, where the traveler's journey is done.
Okay, one more time for question 34.
Ah, sunflower, weary of time, who countest the steps of the sun, seeking after that sweet golden clime, where the traveler's journey is done.
Right, and finally, question 35 in this musical round. From the sublime to the ridiculous, which American poet recorded this enthusiastic version of Laughing Song? One more time, which American poet recorded this enthusiastic version of Laughing Song? And it isn't really part of the question, but did he really have to? Let's
When the greenwood laugh with a voice of joy, and the dimpling stream runs laughing by, when the air does laugh with a merry wit, and the green hill laughs with the noise of it, when the meadows laugh with lively green, and the grasshopper laughs on the merry sea. When Mary and Susan and Emily with their sweet round mouths sing ha ha he, when the painted birds laugh in the shade where our table with cherries and nuts is spread, come live and be merry and join with me to sing the sweet chorus of ha ha he.
Oh, sorry. Oh, wonderful. Would you like to hear that rendition again, or is that the last thing anybody wants? Everybody heard that enough for one lifetime.
Not unless you have wine for all of us.
If I could pour this wine into the computer for you all, I would. Would anyone like to hear any of those again, or some of those, or is everyone happy that they know or don't know?
I'm happy to go on.
Yeah. To say, I can't see the chat, I'm afraid. So shout, or we will move on. Right. So let's do the answers for those ones. So question 31. Which 90s Britpop band nixed the lyrics for that song from Blake's A Poison Tree?
Blur.
That's Blur.
Correct. Well, I tell you what, I'm going to come out of screen share because we don't really need it now. I'll be able to see you all. Yes, indeed. Yes, and whatever you thought of that, that was one of my first encounters with William Blake. So, question 32. Who was the composer of that adaptation of London?
Guy Pearce.
Benjamin Britten.
It was Benjamin Britten.
Oh,
Correct.
okay.
Yeah. Question 33. This was Peter's favourite. Which Manchester band performed that 1980s take on Jerusalem?
The Fall.
The Fall.
Very well done. Yes, The Fall.
Yeah.
The Mighty Fall. Yes. From their excellent album, I Am Curious Orange. Recommended. Question 34. Who composed that adaptation of Our Sunflower?
So,
Yeah,
Vaughan
go-
Williams?
Vaughan Williams, correct.
Oh, it is. Okay.
Yep. And finally, 35. Who was responsible for that masterpiece?
Allen Ginsberg.
Allen Ginsberg.
It is Allen Ginsberg.
Oh
Okay.
no!
Enthusiast.
Oh no! I've actually got one right, and it was that one.
I have quite a lot of time for Allen Ginsberg, but I mean, that's horrific. Right, so if
I'm
you...
so proud that I got the first 4 wrong. If I'd have got all 5 wrong, I'd have been even happier.
I can see you pogoing down the front of a fall gig, Peter. I can see it. If you could all add up your scores for rounds 3 and 4. So again, it should be out of 20 in total, and then put those in the chat. And then we will ask Sibylla to add those to your previous score. And what we might do...
Is it out of 20?
Is it 20 or 15?
Oh, sorry, I'm a complete idiot. You're quite right, out of 15.
Okay.
Well done, everyone. Well done. Well done for paying attention. What I'm going to do is go back into screen sharing while we do that to give Sibylla a chance to collate your scores. And where are we? So this is just for our enjoyment. I thought we would listen to a little bit of The Fly by David Axelrod from his Blake-inspired 1969 album, I think, Songs of Experience. Here we go.
Can't we have the jingle, please?
The jingle, regrettably, I don't think is quite long enough. I think Sibylla will need slightly longer. But let's play a bit of it. We can always have the jingle later, Peter. Don't worry.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, John.
Sibylla, if you just want to give me a thumbs up when you're ready, and I'll fade this out. Here we go. This is David Axelrod. Okay, there we go. Another album I recommend giving a listen. Okay, so if we can go over to our wonderful scorer, Sibylla, one more time. She
Okay.
will let us know how everyone's doing.
Okay, now I've got 31. If I don't hear anything, then I'm assuming I got it right.
Yeah.
Peter, 27. Debbie, 15. George, 13. Anise, 25. Robin, 19. Camilla, 24. Gareth, 22. Tim, 26.
Excellent. Some very impressive scores. Well done, everybody. So we're going to head into round 5, the final round of Blakety Blake. And I'm going to share the screen with you one more time. And let's have a look. We're going to take a look at, where's it gone? Not the visionary heads, but this round, corporeal friends, or corporal friends as it says there, excuse me, are spiritual enemies, or who is William slagging off today? Here's the intro. Blake was a poet of great spiritual conviction, but in his notebooks and annotations, he was not above giving enemies and friends a verbal kicking. What we want you to do is to match the victim with William's complaint. So we've got the options at the bottom there. Let's go through the slaggings off first. 36. This man was hired to depress art. 37. The friendship oft has made my heart to ache. Do be my enemy for friendship's sake. Now this 38 is where in blankety blank they would have an actual blank. Which blank? Blank loves artists as he loves his meat. He loves the art, but 'tis the art to cheat. Question 39. An atheist pretending to talk against atheism. And question 40. You all your youth observed the golden rule till you're at last become the golden fool. And the options we have, the victims of these character assassinations are A, Robert Cromek, B, Thomas Stothard, C, Francis Bacon, D, Joshua Reynolds, and E, William Haley. So make your deliberations. Give you a couple of minutes.
Is that how they do deliberations in South America?
Say again?
Is that how that you do deliberations in South America? I approve.
Everybody's got their own process, Peter. It's all good.
I know, it's a learning experience for me, John.
So, how's everyone doing? Are we ready for the answers on the final round of Blakety Blake? I'm going to proceed unless I hear any protestations. So, here we go. In fact, I'm going to come out of screen share again so you can see everyone's lovely faces. So, question 36. This man was hired to depress art. Who is William slagging off?
Reynolds.
Is that
Good
Reynolds?
old Joshua Reynolds.
Joshua Reynolds, okay.
Favourite of dear William. 37. The friendship oft has made my heart to ache. Do be my enemy for friendship's sake.
That's Haley.
That
Haley.
is indeed.
Yes.
Poor old William Haley. Yeah. I quite often think I'd probably be William Haley. That's the sad thing. Dealing with some misunderstood genius.
You'd be paying for the trial, so good luck with that.
Well, he'd be screwed then, let me tell you that. Question 38. Blank loves artists as he loves his meat. He loves the art, but 'tis the art to cheat.
Chromic.
That's Chromac.
Indeed. Boo.
Yeah.
Robert
Bob
Chromic.
Screwmatch.
Yes, indeed. 39. An atheist pretending to talk against atheism.
Bacon.
Bacon.
Indeed, Francis Bacon.
Mm-hmm.
So the final question of this inaugural game of Blakety Blake is question 40. You all your youth observed the golden rule.
Stoddard.
You're at last become the golden fool.
Stothard.
Stoddard.
Only B for Stothard. Correct. So if you can tot up your scores for the final round, which if my maths is right this time should just be out of 5, and put those in the chat, then we will ask Sibylla once more to compile those. In the meantime, I've got one more bit of screen sharing gubbins. I thought what we could do is to watch this rather remarkable video that I happened upon yesterday, which some of you may know, but was new to me. Where are we? This amazing Blake animation by Sheila Graber, which was done for the 1978 Tate exhibition, apparently. So it's quite long. I don't know whether we'll watch the whole thing, but it's all up there on YouTube. Let's have a bit of a watch. Okay, I'm just going to stop it there, which is a bit of a shame, but it's all up there. I thought it was rather amazing go at animating Blake.
Who is the animator, John?
Someone called Sheila Graber. All I could really find about her, so she's still with us. She's in her 80s, I think, and she appears to have been had a long career as an animator and educator, and I believe worked to some extent on the Paddington animations, Paddington Bear, in the 70s, 80s. But that apparently was commissioned by the Tate in 77 for the 1978 exhibition. And according to just some stuff I read on the internet, some of it she actually painted in view of the public in the main hall of Tate Britain as it is now, then just the Tate. Yeah.
It's a wonderful combination, Carl Orff and Blake's paintings. I'd never thought of putting them together before, but they're both wonderful, wonderful. They blend beautifully.
Yeah, it sort of heads off the bit where I've just cut it off when it heads into the sort of slightly sunnier and more pastoral side of things. But I'll if you Google Sheila Graber Blake, Graber, it's fairly easy to find and worth a watch. So that dramatic finale leads us to our own dramatic finale of 2020 Blakety Blake. Now, with Sibylla's cooperation, what we're going to do is to use the fourfold scoring system, which William Blake delivered to me in a dream last night.
What a bit of luck.
It works like this. I think this will be okay for Sibylla because there's not loads of us, so hopefully I'm not asking the impossible. So I don't think anyone falls into this category, thankfully, but the lowest category of the fourfold scoring system is stuck in Ulro. And that's anyone who's got 0 to 10 points. Don't think we have anyone. You're all right. Well done, everyone. You're out of Ulro. So next, is there anyone, Sibylla, who is in the 11 to 20 points range? If so, they are vegetating in generation. Can we name the names, please?
And it's Debbie and George.
Well done.
Yay!
The worst places to be, Ulro.
Well, a bit like 2020, really, isn't it? So that's for me.
We're all in Ulro, really, aren't we, right now? Yeah, yeah. So next up, in the 21 to 30 points bracket is Dreaming in Beulah. Sibylla, who falls into this?
And does it include 30?
Yes, I think so. 21, yeah, up to include.
Okay, so we have 4 people.
And they are.
And they are moving my way up. Robin, Gareth, Camilla, and Anise.
Wonderful, wonderful. You're almost there, guys. Almost there. So in the top category, 31 to 40 points, restored to Eden. Who do we have, Sibylla?
We have Tim, Peter, and Noel.
Hey. Well done, everybody. Well done, everybody. So the final outcome of the William Blake endorsed fourfold scoring system is that the top 4 scorers are declared the 4 Zoas and will receive a prize. Now, I think I'm right in saying that 2 of them are trustees of the Blake Society. This might save us a bit on postage. This is good. This has worked out well.
Fix.
So who are the 4 Zoas, Sibylla, if you please?
Well, they are starting. They are Noel, Peter, Tim, and Anise.
Excellent, excellent. Well, Peter and Tim, congratulations. You get nothing. But
it's exactly what I deserve.
Well, to be fair, Peter would be sending the prizes out, so he can give himself a prize if he likes.
He doesn't deserve it. Believe me, I know what I'm talking about.
Have you been checking your Erdmann, Peter? Is that what's been going on? Yeah. So Anise and Noel, if you would like to, your choices of prize are to come back a bit, the 4 beautiful tie of Albion Rose. The other option we have, I don't have one here to show you, but is a beautiful map of Golgonooza. Which we can send to you. So what we would require you to do is just to email us your details and your choice of those 2 prizes. And we will send those out to you. So if you want to email secretary@blakesociety.org with your postal address and your choice of the tie or the Golgonooza map, we will send you your well-deserved prizes.
Well, thank you.
Yeah,
that's a beautiful tie.
Well, that's all Peter's doing, but he's not having this one back, so it's worked out well. This concludes Blakety Blake. Thank you very much for playing.
And thank you, Sibylla and John, for organising a well-run, smooth as silk, almost as smooth as your silk tie, quiz. It was a lot of fun. The only thing I can say for myself is I'm horrified I got one of the music questions correct.
Well, it was John. Let's thank John.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Thank you very much. It's been a lot of fun. Would you like the ludicrous jingle one more time? Because it took me quite a long time to make.
Yes, please.
I'm just to indulge me. Thank you. Where are we? Blakety Blake, 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 Blakety Blake. Thank you very much. Thank you.
And thank you everyone for joining from all over the world. We've had people from Brazil, Canada, the USA, South Africa. Anywhere else I haven't mentioned?
South London.
South America.
Say?
South America.
Brazil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And where did the ties come from, Peter?
The ties come from China.
Well, that was a lot of fun. Thank you very much.
Yeah, that was great.
John, Sibylla, everybody. I want to do one of those again. Up my score. It's appalling. I'm distraught with myself.
Especially now that you know what the price is.
Yeah. Yeah, I would have tried harder.
If I'd have known what the prize was, I'd have tried less hard.
Thanks, everybody. Lovely to see you.
Thank you. Good to see you,
All
guys.
right.
Cheers.
Thank you.
See you
Bye.
soon. Bye-bye.
Well, what are you going to do, John? Are you going to give us a commercial outro?
I think I'm just going to drink some more wine and maybe take this jacket off because I'm really hot.
Yeah. And another look at the tie, if you please.
Yeah, this was brilliant, John. Well done.
Thank you very much. Thanks, guys. It was,
Well done.
Fun to do.
And with that jingle, I think this is going to be a standing item now. Brilliant.
Very silly. There are things I'm proud of, like, you know, my daughter and my marriage and my book. But really, I think about 19 seconds of nonsense is the thing I'm most proud of. You know, stupid, isn't it?
No, I think it's wonderful. Well done.
Thank you, John, and all your work which went into it. How did you make the jingle? How did you?
Do you want to stop the recording, Tim?
Thank you.
Sorry. We've got